Yes, that's right. We are back at it again with the NECA Ultimate Action Figures. Today we are looking at M3gan, who is actually from one of my favorite horror movies, believe it or not. I haven't seen the second one, but yeah, I do really like the first one. So here is M3gan, the killer robot doll thing. So here she is with Spider-Man. I feel like that's actually a pretty good comparison there. And then here she is with Ghostface. So that's pretty good. He's got some height to her, which makes sense. And then I feel like one more comparison that would make sense. So if you have her with the Carrie Kelly from the DC Multiverse line, and as you can see, they're actually kind of similar in height. So that's kind of interesting. As far as how tall she actually is, let's find out together. So she is the top of her dress shoes to the top of her, or the bottom of her dress shoes to the top of her head. Looks like she is about 5 3/4 inches. Yeah, about 5 3/4 inches. Or that makes her about, let's say, just over 14.5 centimeters, give or take. So here she is, and I have to say she looks really accurate. She definitely has the right look to her. I like the dress, or whatever you would call this. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it looks accurate enough. I like the tie that she has on there. I like the blue with the kind of like a pale yellow and like a dark red on there. I think that looks really good. I like the stripes on the sleeves there, how they're kind of looks like they were maybe like colored in like I think they were colored in like this like grayish blue color, and they had the white lines like painted around them, something like that. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. The hands definitely don't look real, but that's kind of the point. So they look good for what they are. The stockings, are these stockings? I don't know what these are. I don't know what you would call them, but yeah, they look pretty good. And then we have the dress shoes there. I like the way that they look. How they're like a dark blue with like a tan or something like that. Underside, a sole to that, so that's pretty cool. I like that. And then with the face, we gotta talk about the face. The whole uncanny valley type thing. And I think for an action figure of this scale, I think it's definitely accurate enough. It looks pretty good, and yeah, I like it. And then I guess we could also we'll talk about the accessories next, I suppose. So this is actually the head that comes on her in the package when you first get her out, and it's got kind of a like blank stare to it, which I actually kind of like. It really solidifies that whole not really human look to her. But she does have two other heads. So she has this head here, which has kind of like wider eyes, and I guess like more of a frowning type face. So that looks pretty good for both of them. The hair looks really good. It's just slightly different because this one I guess is a little bit more full. This one, it's a little bit more just straight down. So it looks pretty good. On the front though, it looks about the same. So there we go. And then she does also have an alternate head that shows her all battle damaged after that long drawn out fight, which I thought was pretty interesting. So there you go. She's got kind of a more menacing and dead look to her. And then you have, a gash in her head that shows like, some of her circuitry underneath. And you also have some of her fake hair missing, so that's pretty cool. And she also has like her mouth open just a little bit, so I think that's pretty cool. And what you could do is, you can just pop this off. I would recommend, heating that, of course. So just pop it off, and then you just slide one of those back in there. So that's pretty cool. And then you do also have one other head, which has all of the, all of the fake stuff completely removed, and just the robot interior remaining. So I like that. I like the kind of like a greenish blue thing for the main head, and then you have some black there on the top. You got like copper all around that, and then you have like a gunmetal color on the inside there with some copper and gold and all of that. And as you can see, there's a hole in there. And what you can do with that is you can do a few things with it. For one, she does come with a screwdriver, and spoiler alert for the movie, but I'm sure if you watching this that you've already seen the movie, so you know about how you just drive the screwdriver into there, and then that's what shuts her down. So I think that that's pretty cool. You obviously don't have to do that. You could have her holding the screwdriver if you wanted to do some maintenance around the house. We do also have two alternate face plates, and these look really good. Yeah, so they kind of have this like coppery color to them. I like that, and yeah, it's got like some black around it, and yeah, you can see the eyes underneath, and yeah, they look pretty similar. It's just that with this one here, the eyes are a little bit messed up. That like one is kind of wider, and then the other one is kind of looking off to the side, which I do believe is intentional. Make it look like it's it's not really functioning properly. And what you could do is you could just take this and just kind of plug it in there or something. So you can just kind of go like that, and then there you go. So now you have a completed head, which does actually look pretty good. It's just that I like the whole uncanny valley type thing. And then while we're talking about the accessories, we might as well talk about the rest of them. So she does have two hands here, and yeah, so this one's kind of like an open hand, and then this one's kind of a gripping hand type thing. And she does have one other left hand with a slight grip to it, which in all honesty can't really hold that much. So I guess this is just kind of another gesturing hand, just kind of like relaxed or whatever. And then you do have some other right hands. So this one is more of like not necessarily a trigger finger, but it's kind of like a sloping thing, so she can hold on to something like that. And then she does also have a regular gripping hand, so that works pretty well. And she does also have, this is more like a trigger finger hand, only it's with two fingers, so there you go. So that definitely works. And then you do have one other kind of relaxed hand like this one is. And if I remember correctly, this was the one that also came with her on the, when she was first taken out of the package. So there you go. And then you do also have some weapons for her. So she has a nail gun, which I think looks really good. I like the kind of green color that it has, and I like the black and then like the silver along the side for the ammunition or whatever. I've never actually used a nail gun before, but can kind of surmise what it's for. And then you can take probably a hand like this, could hold on to it, kind of like that. So there you go. If you want her to have the nail gun, you can. And by the way, it is really easy to take the hands off. As you're probably aware, you can just, pop them off and then pop them back on, and there you go. So there's that. And then she does, we already talked about the screwdriver, but she does also come with a hammer. So no nails, but if you do want her to have a hammer and, do that, she can. So there you go. It definitely looks accurate to a real life hammer. I will say that this doesn't exactly look like wood, but I think that that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. So there you go. She does have a hammer. And then she does also have two paper cutters. At least I think that's what these are. I think they're paper cutters. So the handles both look the same. It's just a black handle there with some detail there, and that's it. But this one is nice and clean and sharp and all of that. This one's also sharp, but definitely has seen some use to it. And yeah, so there you go. If you want this PG-13, killer to have some more violence to her, give her this one. Otherwise, I kind of like the clean look to it, And yeah, I'd say that that the regular gripping hand is best for holding onto this. So there you go. And I think she looks pretty cool with this, you know. So there you go. Then we already talked about the accessory, so we might as well talk about the articulation. So as far as what she can do, the head can theoretically, like, you know, it could rotate all the way around, but the hair really gets in the way. So she can't really move side to side. She can look up a little bit and look down a little bit, and that's it. But honestly, I think that kind of works for the whole, like, robot thing. That, you know, she's not human, so her actions would be a little stiff and robotic and that kind of thing. So there you go. And then for the arms, they can rotate all the way around. There you go. And then they do go out, but they don't go out very far. Just because of, like, the sculpt of the sleeves with, like, you know, how they look like real fabric and how they're kind of like, you know, like, I don't really know, like wrinkles or whatever on there. They don't go out very far. So if you're expecting her to have her arms go all the way up, she can't really do that. So they can go out about that far. So just be aware of that. There you go. And then I was expecting there to be a bicep swivel right here because it looks like there is. And if there is, I can't get it to move, but I don't think there is. So yeah, just know that she doesn't have the best articulation. So the shoulders don't go out very far, and she doesn't have a bicep swivel. She does have a single jointed elbow, which, you know, looks okay, and it does also rotate. So there you go. So there you go. And then you do have the hands. They are on a hinge, so they can go forward and back. So there's that. And then for the torso, I can't tell what is in here, but this piece is so thick that she doesn't really have a whole lot of movement. So she can go forward about that much, and she can go back about that much. So not very much at all. I mean, like, if you just have her standing straight up like this, you can't really, you know, it's not really that much different. So there you go. And then for under here, yeah, it's just a simple joint there. So she does have rotation here. So there's a twist there, which is fine. The legs can go forward about that far, and they can go back about the same. So that's actually pretty good. And then you do get a little bit of a thigh swivel, but not much. You do get a single jointed knee, which gives you about 90 degrees. So I think that that's fair. And then it does also rotate a little bit. So there you go. And then for the ankles, they go back pretty far, and then they go forward, you know, a little bit. So not very much, but yeah, so it is there. So basically they can go back, and that's about it. But yeah, and speaking of that's about it for this figure. So would I recommend this figure? I think if you're a fan of the movie or you're a fan of the character, then I would say that yes, it's worth picking up. But just be aware that the articulation is not exactly the best. You know, if you're expecting something like a McFarlane figure with, you know, all of these other points of articulation, you're probably not going to find that with this, and you might be disappointed. So I'm just going to tell you that, yeah, if you're expecting something super articulated, you should probably look somewhere else. But me personally, I don't mind it because I like the overall sculpt and likeness and all of that. But I also like the idea that, like, you know, she's a robot, so her movements aren't as fluid as an actual human. So I kind of like that. But yeah, so that's what I think. And yeah, and then I guess we could also talk about the box. So got a nice little portrait there of Megan, and if you open it up, you get a shot of her, obviously in that hallway. And if you look behind this, you get that same kind of thing. So you get Megan right there on the side with her. And then it shows off, you know, all of the stuff. So there you go. So there's that. And then there's another portrait. And then here is the bottom. So there you go. Shout outs to all of those people. And if that helps you, there you go. And then, yeah, so that's about it. So, yeah, would I recommend this figure? I say it depends on what you are looking for. But me personally, I am glad to have her in my growing horror collection. And yes, I do intend to review more of these. Stay tuned for that. Um, Definitely coming up soon with that. So if you enjoyed this video, you'd like to see me back after quite a bit of a break, then do be sure to leave a like. If you like Megan, do be sure to leave a like, whatever it might be. Let me know in the comments what you think of this figure, if you like it, if you don't like it, did you get it and were disappointed, what'd you think of the movie? Like I said, I haven't seen the second one, so maybe you could tell me it's like, yeah, the second movie is good, or no, the second movie is not good. So I don't know, but you can definitely let me know about that. If you want to see more content like this, do be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more horror NECA content, because that is definitely coming up soon. But other than that, I do hope that you enjoyed, and I do hope that I'll see you all later.